What's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I want to talk to you about how former Teen Mom 2 star Jenelle Evans has allegedly been blackballed from the reality television industry. Now, this video is mainly pulling from an article that the Ashley wrote, so I'm going to leave a link to it in my description box if you want to get a little bit more detail on what exactly has been going on. But let's kind of jump in with the first point. So Jenelle has been doing a bunch of interviews with different outlets about why it is that we have not seen her on other shows ever since she was fired from Teen Mom 2 last year. Well, it turns out that she had a non-compete clause, which meant that she was not able to work on other networks without MTV's permission up until April of this year. So she's still got a couple months left of this non-compete clause. Now, she's been hinting at being in talks with other networks for different shows and opportunities, perhaps even returning back to Teen Mom 2, all of that stuff in April. But according to the Ashley, none of that is even close to being true, with the exception of her being under contract until April, of course. Here's what the Ashley had to say about that, and I quote, "No other opportunities are on the table for Jenelle right now at all. No networks have expressed interest in working with Jenelle because they know that she is toxic to any show she appears on, with or without David at this point." And speaking of with or without David, Jenelle really wants us all to keep guessing about the status of her relationship, but I think that the most eagle-eyed of us already knew that this was never a legitimate separation, divorce in the making, or whatever it is that she wanted us to believe that it was. If Jenelle did not leave David when he was out here allegedly abusing her children, all of her children, to the point where CPS took them all away and she could have chose to go and stay with the kids or stay in the house with kids while David left the house and went elsewhere, and she didn't do that. She instead chose David over her children. There's nothing in this world that would make her leave him. The only thing that I think that someone like Jenelle would do is fake a separation in order to get her job back, because she's well aware that a large part of the reason why she was fired from the show in the first place was because of the stuff that David was doing online and how poorly it reflected on her. She's been trying to get jobs on social media, hawking products and whatnot, but every time she gets a sponsorship, the teen mom community promptly makes sure that it gets shut down. And a lot of their complaints are about what David has done. They're like, no, don't work with Jenelle. She has chosen an abusive husband over her children. Her husband was out here shooting the family dog. These are all things that David did that she's been associated with. So she, of course, would try to fake a distance from him in order to land her job back. But she's been failing at it through and through. There have been so many photographs leaked of the two of them hanging out together with no kids in sight ever since she dropped that fake ass restraining order against him. Also, according to the Ashley, Jenelle is very quickly going broke because she's no longer on TV. She cannot get any kind of sponsorship deals because every time she tries, the community goes to the advertisers and says that they will not buy any products that are associated with Jenelle, so she gets dropped from everything. And of course, she cannot sell her own products either because she does not have a legitimate fan base of people willing to purchase anything from her. Her husband David is trying to sell his little arts and crafts on Etsy, but they're way overcharged, so no one is really buying those either. And she's stuck funding David's life in North Carolina while he sits around on the internet complaining about socialism while he lives off of her, ironically enough, in addition to paying for a home in Nashville. So the money is very, very quickly going down the drain with nothing there to replace it. Here's another quote from the Ashley's article. "She is broke and scrambling for money. Both her and David are broke. Jenelle is unable to continue to pay the rent of her Tennessee apartment. She will deny that she's broke, but she's barely getting by right now." I am not in the slightest bit surprised to hear that, because she and David spent like millionaires with money that would never run out. I don't think she ever properly saved her money or anything like that. I'm shocked that she hasn't gotten caught up in some kind of tax situation the way Macy was owing $80,000 once upon a time. I'm sure she is in dire straits at this point because she never expected to legitimately get fired from Teen Mom or to not be asked back either, or to not be offered any other reality television shows. This truly is a case of the chickens coming home to roost for Jenelle after all the years she spent like threatening to quit the show, acting like she was above it because she had all these backup offers, and now come to find out she's got nothing on the table and may have to do a traditional job or something in order to keep herself afloat, because there's no way she'll be able to have even social media sponsors, her own online business, because her reputation is just so freaking bad. Guys, we gotta guess. What do you think Jenelle is gonna be doing to make money over the next couple of years, considering her blackballing from the reality television industry? Like, she's got some kind of education in like medical assisting or whatever, but she never completed the certification exam. And with her criminal record, I imagine it'll be quite difficult for her to secure something when potential employers do background checks on her. The whole thing is just, I don't know, dicey. I really do worry for the future of her children. Like, those are the only people that I am worried about in this case. Now, if you're wondering about the state of her relationship with her mother, Barbara, ever since she got back together with David / never really left him, make sure to head over to the Ashley's Reality Roundup. Again, I've got the link in my description box down below. But while you're here, let me know, what do you think Jenelle is going to be doing in order to make ends meet? Because her money seems to be running low right about now. Do you think she'll be driving a school bus? Or I don't even think she could do that considering her record. Like, the whole thing truly is a mess. But leave all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.